So literally, Moses Malone, the first player to be drafted or to go out of high school directly to a professional league. He went to the ABA, so the first one out of high school to play in the ABA. And Daryl Dawkins, the first person to be play out of high school in the NBA. And they both died this year. They have connections to 60. Flip Saunders died at the age of 60. I mean, what are the odds of this happening? Like, Harvey Pollack, the oldest NBA employee, dies this year. He called Wilt Chamberlain's, he kept the score during Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. He's even a Philadelphia 76er guy, just like Daryl Dawkins, just like Moses Malone. He also had the announcer for the Hank Aaron's record-breaking home run, who died this year with a tie to 60. Even what are the odds of this? So Earl Lloyd, he was the first NBA player, or black NBA player, and he died this year on 2/26 in February, obviously. Minnie Minoso, the first black Cuban in the Major League Baseball and the first black White Sox. The first black PGA Tour player died this year also on February 3rd. So what are the odds of that? The first black NBA player, the first black PGA player, and the first black White Sox and first black Cuban in the Major League all died within a span of like a month. What are the odds of that? Ridiculous. And it's even funnier because Black History Month is in February. So, I mean, come on now. And I think it all ties back to the NBA that has 82 games in the regular season. And 1982 was 33 years ago. 33, it's always around the death and whatever. So also Obama's birthday to 1025 is a span of 82 days. I've also mentioned a lot of times about Queen Elizabeth and her being 89 years old. And on 8/9, there's 144 days left. Whatever, tons of stuff with it, but the 82nd prime is 421. Queen Elizabeth II was born on 421. It's the 111th day with 254 left. The mirror day of that is September 11th, the 254th day with 111 left. Interesting too then, August 2nd, 8/2 would literally be 84 days away from the day Flip Saunders died. The 84th prime is 433. This is the 433rd year of the Gregorian calendar being in existence. Starting on, or the last day of the Julian calendar was 10/4, October 4th of 1582. In 10/4, of course, there's 88 days left. Tons of other stuff, how it all ties into Back to the Future. 88 is the speed for time travel and whatnot. Also interesting about Queen Elizabeth, she became queen on 2/6 of 1952. If you go back to 1776, it's literally a span of 176 years. Remember, Back to the Future adds up to 176. Her husband, Prince Philip, even born on June 10th, 1921. She was born on 4/21/1926. He's exactly 1,776 days older than her, 1776. And literally, if you write this out the way they would write it in England, it would be 10/6, the 106 that I've talked about in the previous couple videos with the Philadelphia train wreck and whatnot. Or actually, tons of videos, but another thing that just stuck out to me on this list here, though, of the out-of-high-school players or whatever. So Kevin Garnett was third, Kobe Bryant was fourth. And, well, for one, he's round one, pick 13, 113. Kobe Bryant literally adds up to 113, just like Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant, he also adds up to 41, which if you watch my previous video, I talk about all these 41s and whatnot. Just to show you, Michael Jordan, right? Kobe's the mirror of Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan adds up to 113. But this stuck out to me for a number of reasons. So for one, Kobe Bryant was drafted to the Charlotte Hornets. Michael Jordan now owns the Charlotte Hornets. There was a ton of stuff with the number 52 I talked about with Michael Jordan. The 52nd prime is 239. It's the 239th year of the United States. Pope Francis came to the White House at 9:23 a.m. on 9/23, which is basically as a date, it's the same as 239. But also, the Lakers, so Kobe and the Lakers, right? We just had Lamar Odom, known mostly for being the Laker, winning the championship, sixth man, whatever. Lamar Odom in the news, and the Lakers, but the Lakers originally are from Minnesota. And I know they were called the Minneapolis Lakers, but if you just type in Minnesota Lakers, it adds up to 176, just like Back to the Future. Also, sorry, before I get too far, I want to show you one more thing about Queen Elizabeth. So she became queen on 2/6, and her birthday is on 4/21. So she became queen 74 days before her birthday. She actually became queen on a leap year, so it was 75 days. But if you go to from the day she became queen to 4/21, span of 74. If you go to 7/4, July 4th, it's also a span of 74 days. What are the odds of that? Well, 74 days from there is also 2 months, 13 days, 2/13, the first day of Lupercalia. Interesting, too, is that the Lakers actually left Minneapolis in 1960, and they went to Los Angeles in 1960. And Flip Saunders just died at the age of 60. Tons of other 60 references that I've showed you. Lakers even add up to 58. They won the championship in 85, the same year of Back to the Future. They even hold the record for the NBA's longest winning streak, 33 straight games. Interesting, 33. Interesting, too, in 1985, they beat the Celtics. The Celtics are the only team that Kevin Garnett got a championship with. Also, previously I talked about Kobe being from Philadelphia, the whole Philadelphia connection that there is. Even Wilt Chamberlain, talked about him a little bit with his 100-point game. But Wilt Chamberlain is even from Philadelphia, and he died in Bel Air. I made a whole video on him being the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. He even went to the same high school as Will Smith. Also, another thing, I made a video on this a long time ago too, but Kobe Bryant broke Michael Jordan's scoring record, and it was against the Timberwolves. And in this game, they did what they did with Kobe and Michael Jordan. The whole game Kobe looked terrible. If you go back and just find this game and watch it, Kobe looked awful, but he just kept shooting it because they wanted him to break Michael Jordan's record. And they had this Andrew Wiggins guard name or whatever, and then it was kind of like when Kobe was young, and Kobe guarded Michael Jordan, and they made a little big deal about it and whatever. And I predicted that Andrew Wiggins is going to be the next big superstar. I mean, a lot of people have probably predicted that, but they're going to try to mirror Andrew Wiggins to Kobe Bryant. Who knows? It just seemed like it from that video from a long time ago. Last year was also Kobe's 19th season, the mirror of 91. Also, Andrew Wiggins was 19 during the All-Star Week. Zach LaVine, 19. Kevin Garnett, 19. All the Teen Wolves that did something good or whatever. And check out the word 19 in Gematria. 19 even adds up to 41. Also, I mean, how ridiculous is this then? So this year, look at the Lakers and Timberwolves first game. The Timberwolves' first game of the season is against the Los Angeles Lakers. What are the odds of that? Ridiculous. The game will even be on ESPN. Look at ESPN in Gematria. 54. Remember, Flip Saunders adds up to 54. He was also born on the 54th day of the year. It's the mirror of 45. Also, so Kobe, when he played Michael Jordan, he only played Michael Jordan 4 times in his career. He scored 63 points. Michael Jordan was even born in 63. Their mirror years, 63 is 52 years ago. But anyway, he wore number 8. Michael Jordan was 23, 8-23. Kobe was even born on 8-23. And Kobe switched to number 24. So just experimenting. I typed in 8-24. 824 adds up to 216, just like Kevin Garnett. Full name, just like Flip Saunders' full name. It also adds up to 81. Kobe Bryant, known for scoring 81 points in a game. I made videos on that a while back. It was even on 122. It all ties back into Philadelphia again. Kobe even got hurt against Golden State, who won this year. He tore his Achilles, whatever. But 81, the 81 points. Oh, that's 81. Hold on. 81 adds up to 54. Anyway, last thing I'm going to talk about here is this Monetta, Virginia shooting that happened 106 days after the Philadelphia train wreck that was going 106 miles an hour, the engine number 601. Tons of stuff I talked about in the first part of this series, I believe. But on this picture here, this fake picture, because it's complete hoax, but anyway. Franklin County Bridgewater Plaza. If you read it down, Franklin Bridge, and then even in this little headline here, they talk about the NASCAR or whatever, the racer guy who died in Pennsylvania. Literally Franklin Bridge, Pennsylvania. There's the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. I talked about that. They've been foreshadowing bridge a whole bunch. The Golden Gate Bridge. San Francisco adds up to 122, just like Kansas City. Just like Pope Francis, tons of other stuff with it. But what stuck out to me was the bridge reference here. And Flip Saunders, if you go to him, he actually talks about how, according to him, he was about 20 yards away from the I-35 Mississippi River Bridge collapse on 8/1/2007 in Minneapolis. So just want to point this out really quick. Golden Gate actually adds up to 45, and Golden Gate Bridge adds up to 81. So, talking of Kobe Bryant and his 81-point game, 8/1. This bridge collapse happened on 8/1/2007. And if you keep scrolling down here, it tells you a little bit more about it. I just thought some of the stuff on Wikipedia here is just kind of ridiculous and interesting, like it always is on Wikipedia. But so the collapse happened on 8/1, and it says the structure and deck collapsed into the river and onto the riverbanks below, the south part toppling 81 feet eastward in the process. A total of 111 vehicles. Interesting, but also were involved sending their occupants and 18 construction workers as far as 115 feet. So 8/1, 81 feet, the mere 18 construction workers, and then the 115. Tons of stuff with that, even ties into Back to the Future. 11/5 is the first day they go back to 1955. Didn't look that much into this, just found some things interesting. Also, the Gematria I-35 West Mississippi River Bridge. In Gematria, that adds up to 213, like the first day of Lupercalia. Interesting, too, it's like, it talks about St. Anthony Falls, like the bridge collapsing and St. Anthony Falls. Even the Vluster Flanagan guy, the Monetta, Virginia shooting, he was even 41 years old, I think, but he died in Virginia, or Church Falls, Virginia, like the fall of the church. But yeah, just going to end it right here. Who knows? I know I'll look more because it's so ridiculous and coded. I mean, totally planned. The death of Flip Saunders ties into all kinds of stuff, dealing with Teen Wolf and whatnot. Who knows what they have in store, but it's pretty ridiculous. So have a good night. Actually going to show one more thing. So I talked about, it's all about Space Jam and Teen Wolf, but in Space Jam, the whole point of that movie is about the alien invasion and whatnot. Well, alien invasion in Gematria adds up to 144, just like Flip Saunders. And I don't think this is really going to happen, but I think they could maybe fake it out or something. Interesting, too, Bill Murray is in Ghostbusters 2, also Space Jam. In Ghostbusters 2, they say the end of the world is going to be on Valentine's Day 2016 because aliens told her and it adds up to 191. But anyway, have a good night.